Right, peeps, I'm back. Now, I'm discussing this new assistant manager chip. Very exciting addition to the game. It really is. It's full of strategic richness, this. And it's not like a Mickey Mouse triple captain chip where you can get 2 points or 30 points. This really rewards planning and skill, I think. I don't know why people are complaining about it, because to me, it's absolutely fantastic. People are saying it's overly complicated. It's not complicated. I'm going to show you why it's not complicated with some examples, and you will soon see that it is rich in strategic opportunity. Anyway, to start with, it doesn't begin until game week 24. And from game week 24 onwards, you will be able to add a manager into your team. They'll obviously be available on the transfer page. And once you bring one in, that will activate your chip. And that chip will last for 3 successive game weeks. You cannot use it once in game week 24, once in game week 30, and once in game week 38. Once you activate it, it's for the next 3 weeks. So if you do it in 24, it's for 24, 25, and 26. Now, you can change manager during that 3-week period. But if you do, it will cost you a free transfer. That's an important consideration. If you really want to target the best fixtures, then it is going to cost you a free transfer if you change manager during those 3 weeks. The managers also cost money. So the best ones probably cost 1.5 million. The worst ones cost 500,000. Some might cost 1 million. So it comes out of your budget. So you're going to need to make some room in your budget if you want to use a chip. If you've got no spare money, you won't be able to use the chip unless you create some spare money on your bench, on your budget. Right. During the 3-week period, no other chip can be used. So if you use it in game week 28 and there's a double game week in 29, you will not be able to use any other chips during that double game week. And also, this manager, which is interesting, counts towards your 3-player limit. For example, at the moment, you can only have 3 players from each club. Well, if you've already got 3 players from a club, you will not be able to add that manager to your team. And this, I think, is going to have vital implications. Because if you do want to use your assistant manager chip over a double game week, so you get an extra fixture, it's going to cause a few problems, I think. Supposing, for example, you want to use the Liverpool double game week as part of your assistant manager chip, then you're going to want, obviously, for that double game, you're going to want 3 Liverpool players, aren't you? Which is going to make it difficult to use that chip on Liverpool, because you won't be able to have a Liverpool manager as well. So that's going to kind of limit its usefulness, I think, for double game weeks. So unless you get a big multiple double game week where there's lots of teams where you might not want 3 players from a particular team, then you will be able to take advantage of it. But anyway, Pete, let's look at the scoring. All this will become clear over time, but the scoring is very simple. There's basically 2 different scoring systems here. One for when you're playing a really weak team, and one for where you're playing a team that's kind of equal or better as your own team. So the first one is when you're playing a weak team. And for this, you're going to pick a team that is playing a really weak team. A really good team playing a really weak team. Because when you win, you get 6 points. When you draw, you get 3 points. 1 point for each goal your team scores. So if your team wins 5-0, you're going to get 5 extra points. And 2 for a clean sheet. So really, in this system, you're going to want to pick a Liverpool versus a Wolves, that type of thing. Now, there's another scoring system for when your team is playing a team that is over 5 or more league positions above your own team. And the rewards for this are huge. If you win, instead of getting 6 points, you get 16 points. And instead of 3 points for a draw, you get 8 points, and the other conditions remain the same. So here's some examples. Right, so Man United are home to Southampton, and you've picked for Man United manager and activated your chip. So if you win, because obviously Man United are far above Southampton in the table, if you win, you're going to get 6 points. You're going to get 2 points for your clean sheet, and you're going to get 2 points for scoring 2 goals. So you're going to get 10 points from this fixture. It's low risk, so you're not really risking losing particularly. You know, if you lose, you get 0, absolutely nothing. So you've got to be very careful. You don't want to lose. You definitely do not want to lose. So you're going to be picking the likes of, like I said, Liverpool versus Wolves or whatever. Very low chance of losing. Very high chance of picking up at least 10 points. You know, if you win by more than 2 goals, you're going to get more points, aren't you? And you're less likely to lose your clean sheet in those one-sided matchups. Now, here's another example from the second scoring scenario. If you take Man United to beat Brighton, who are currently, I think, 5 or more places above them in the table, you know, if that's the case when you're activated your chip and you decide this is a good fixture because Brighton are overrated, Man United are looking really good at the time, and the league position's not really reflective of their real ability, then you're going to go for that. And if you win, Man United win 2-0, instead of getting 6 points, you're getting 16. You're also getting 2 for your clean sheet and 2 for your goals. So you're getting 20 points. 20 points, peeps, instead of 10. That is a massive, massive difference. And the other thing is that even if Man United draw, say 2-2, you still get 8 points for the draw, which is more than you pick up for the win against a team like Southampton. And you'd get 2 for your, well, not for your clean sheet, but you get 2 points for 2 goals. So you get 8 points there for that one. 10 points total. 10 points total. So you get just as many points if you pick Man United to play Brighton and they drew as you would picking Man United to beat Southampton. Now, to me, this is huge. And this is where the big strategic opportunity arises. Because there are going to be plenty of times where there are teams that have started the season well and are above other teams that started the team poorly, but are now suddenly looking much better. And there's opportunities to select those teams that are on the up to beat the teams that are currently above them, but are on the slide. So that's where the big points lie, peeps. Big points. So, strategy. And it all depends on where you are in the league, I think, the strategy. Whether you want, you know, if you're doing well, you're in like 10k, maybe top 100k, if that's doing well for you, then you are going to want to play it safe. You're going to want to pick Man City to beat Wolves or something like that, and bank those 10 points. Safe, 10 points, very little risk of losing. The only real risk, I think, is a draw, where you would only get 3 points for that draw, plus any points you scored for any goals that you got. And the other thing, of course, is that, as you know, if you change manager, it does cost you a free transfer. So you're going to have to weigh that up. If you want the really best fixtures, you are probably going to have to want to change manager during the course of those 3 games, which is going to cost you a transfer. So you're going to have to weigh up the extra risk, you know, of sticking with the same one rather than using a transfer, that type of thing. So there's a lot of complexity to it in that sense, strategic complexity, but actually playing the thing is pretty simple and straightforward. It's going to have big effects on the scoring, on your overall rank short term, because what's going to happen is game week 24, all the casuals are going to use this chip immediately. So you're likely to get red arrows in game week 24, 25, 26. And in fact, until you use it, you're probably going to get red arrows and lower ranks than you would have done, because people are going to be continuously activating this chip during the course of a season. Now, there's a couple of strategies I've come up with that might be useful. One is to use it in game week 36, 37 and 38. This is what I'm currently thinking is a wise option. I mean, I haven't even checked the fixtures though, those weeks. But what we do know is that by game week 36, you have a much better idea what you want to do. You know, you're either protecting a mini league where you want to stay ahead, in which case you're going to want to target this strategy number 1, which is to target weaker teams and pick up the 10 points from those games, or you're going to be chasing, in which case you're going to want these potential 20-point games, aren't you? Get 3 of them, you've got 60 points. So, you know, pick a home team that's playing someone only slightly above them, you know, 5 teams above them, that's on the slide, target one of them, boom, 20 points. Yeah, I know you're risking points, more likely to lose and get 0, but that's what you're going to want to do if you're chasing, you know. So this is why I'm thinking game 36, game week 37, game week 38 is perfect, especially as some teams have got a lot more to play for than others during those weeks. You know, some teams are already on the beach, whereas other times teams really need a win, a big win in some cases, if we're looking at goal difference and that type of thing, you know. So if you're playing it safe, you're going and Liverpool and Chelsea are neck and neck for the title, you're going to want to choose them to beat teams near the bottom that are kind of safe from relegation but they've got nothing to play for. Target those, pick up the easy wins. Likewise, if you're chasing, Ipswich, for example, are near the bottom in risk of relegation. They're desperate to win their games to avoid relegation. Teams just above them, like 5 places, might be clear of relegation but with nothing to play for. Target those games. Pick Ipswich to beat Crystal Palace, for example, and you know, more motivated, need to win. That's a potential 20-point game there for you. So that's one way to target it. Another one is just to look for a good 3-week fixture run any time between game week 24 and 36. Like Liverpool might have, say, Ipswich, Southampton and Wolves 3 in a row. This is just an example, peeps. I know they don't, but this is an example. So we've got 3 easy fixtures. Pick the one manager, plonk him in, don't change him, so you're not using any extra transfers, and hope that Liverpool beat all 3 of them. Good chance they will do. And that's one strategy. Another strategy, like I said, is to target these big 20-pointers during the course of the season. And another strategy is to try and use it around a double game week. But like I said before, if you're after that Liverpool game week, where it's only Liverpool and Everton with a double, then it's going to be tricky because you're going to want 3 Liverpool players, I suspect, in which case you won't be able to bring in the Liverpool manager. So it might be best around a bigger double game week where you've got all sorts of different teams have got 2 games, where you might only want 2 of their players, and then you'll be able to bring their manager in to use the chip. But for players like myself, I mean, one criticism of this chip that you could use is that players that have already used a triple captain chip are at a bit more of an advantage now, because managers like myself have to find a double game week to play a bench boost, and we have to find a double game week to play a triple manager chip. Whereas if you've already used those, you can pick and choose. I mean, you could even get a situation where you could fit 2 double game weeks in the space of 3 weeks. It could happen, couldn't it? There could be 2 double game weeks in the space of 3 weeks, where you could end up getting 5 fixtures for your assistant manager chip, you know, which would be fantastic, wouldn't it, for you if that happened? But for me personally, I'd be having to use my blooming bench boost and my triple captain chip and all that sort of thing. So there's opportunities there for everybody, I think. And I really don't see why people are looking at this so negatively in terms of its complexity. Because it's not complex, it's simple. Just 2 different scoring systems depending on where your opponent is in the league. What's complicated about that, peeps? What's complicated about that? Nothing. So the only thing, like I said, is that it's going to distort the rankings, isn't it? Even more. So you can't count your chips. your ranking until game week 38, basically, because before then it's all changed because everybody's got different chips. It's like last year, I was 2 million at Christmas, finished at 80k because I saved up all my chips and used them late. So you're going to get that this time, and that's where the difference lies. So one potential issue with this chip is it is going to stuff up the cup games, because if you're playing in the cup and your opponent's using his chip at the time, you're going to lose, aren't you? Possibly, realistically, you're at a big disadvantage, 10-point disadvantage. And same with people playing in head-to-head leagues like I do. A lot of the time you're going to be playing against somebody who's using this chip, and you're going to be at a disadvantage. Whereas other weeks you're going to be using it and you're going to have the advantage. But it is going to make for some more one-sided encounters in the head-to-head leagues. But overall, I think this is absolutely fantastic. I really do. Because over the last few seasons, FPL's been getting really dumbed down. The pricing was off. You could afford too many players. It was just getting too simple. Now you've got this addition of the saving your transfers, the tighter budget, and now this chip. Absolutely fantastic. It's giving you something to think about long term. And every week you're going to be looking for an opportunity to play it, looking for teams that you think are on the slide or teams which are undervalued in the league. And it's great, it's great. What a talking point this is going to be. Absolutely fantastic. Now, when are people going to use it? What's going to happen is this. Ben Crellin is going to come out and tell people when the ideal time to play it is. All the content creators are going to copy him and put out their videos telling you when the optimum time is to play it. And a lot of the people that watch those shows are just going to go, oh yeah, I'll just do that. So you're going to get, everybody's going to play it on the same week and they're all going to pick the same manager. That's what's going to happen. Not everybody, but the people on Blue Sky, Twitter, all those people, but watch all the mainstream content creators, a vast number of them, are all going to narrow it down to 1 week to play it. Now don't fall for that, peeps, because this chip is very personalised. It depends on your aims, your goals, where you want to be, where your opposition in your mini leagues are, whether you're chasing, whether you're protecting, all those sort of things, and also who you've got in your team, because like I said, you can't already have 3 players from one team. So it's all up. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. And I can see multiple ways of playing it, multiple times for playing it, and it's absolutely fantastic. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If you see people being negative, don't let their negativity impact on you, peeps, because this is a fantastic opportunity. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later. Like and subscribe. And I've added a noise suppressor to the volume. So hopefully there's no cackling going on in the background. And I'll talk to you all later anyway, peeps. So like I said, like and subscribe. Go away, think some more about this chip. And you will realise that it is not complex at all. It's quite simple. And it is very strategically rewarding, I think, if you play it properly and everything goes well. Okay, so cheers and out and peeps.